July nights in the hill capital of Kandy. Torchlight flares along the streets. Drums roll like distant thunder. A line of elephants, draped in gold and silk, steps into the procession that once decided who could rule an island. This is the Kandy Esala Perehera, Sri Lanka's grandest annual Buddhist festival. It honors the sacred tooth relic of the Buddha, enshrined inside the Temple of the Tooth. Every July and August the city transforms. Night after night the streets fill with fire, dance, and the deep pulse of traditional drums. The story begins far earlier than the modern spectacle. In the 3rd century BCE, an older ritual already moved through the land. People called on the gods for rain. They sought timely showers for the fields and protection for the realm. That ancient plea for water and prosperity never vanished. It simply waited for a new center of power. In the 4th century CE, the Sacred Tooth Relic arrived from India. Prince Danta and Princess Himamala carried it from the kingdom of Kalinga. They delivered it to King Sri Meghavana in Anuradhapura. The king ordered an annual procession in its honor. From that moment the relic became more than a sacred object. Possession of the tooth conferred the legitimate right to rule the island. Kings moved it with their capitals. They built temples around it. They understood its political weight. Centuries passed. Capitals rose and fell. The relic eventually reached Kandy. There it found its permanent home inside the Sri Dalada Maligawa, the Temple of the Tooth. Yet for a long time the public rarely saw it. The relic remained the private property of the king. Everything changed in the 18th century. King Kirti Sri Rajasinha ruled the Kandyan kingdom from 1747 to 1782. A Thai monk named Perehera arrived to restore higher ordination among the Buddhist clergy. The monk observed the existing festival. At that time the Esala rites still focused mainly on the 4 guardian deities of the island. Perehera urged a different order. The king agreed. From that decision the modern Perahera took shape. The procession of the sacred tooth relic would lead. The 4 Deval processions would follow. Natha first, then Vishnu, then Ketaragama, then the goddess Patani. The king's decree was clear. Gods and men would follow the Buddha. Buddha's primacy stood at the front. The older rain-seeking rites remained, now woven into a single grand pageant. The festival still opens with an ancient act, Kap-situweema. At an auspicious hour a sanctified branch from a milky tree is cut and planted at each of the 4 Deval shrines. The planting marks the formal beginning. Days of smaller processions build toward the climax. First come the Kumbal nights, more modest and devotional. Then the Randali nights, the grandest displays of all. When the full procession moves, the streets of Kandy become a living hierarchy. Whipcrackers stride at the front. Their long lashes crack like rifle shots and clear the path. Fire performers spin blazing orbs. Torchbearers light the route. Traditional vase dancers appear in elaborate headdresses and silver ornaments. Their precise steps and gestures belong only to the Kandyan tradition. Hundreds of elephants follow in ranked order. Each animal wears a rich caparison of embroidered cloth and lights. At the center of the Maligawa section walks the specially trained tusker. On its back rests a golden casket. That casket holds a replica. The actual sacred tooth relic never leaves the temple. Only the golden container travels the streets. The Diya Kepeema, the chief lay custodian, walks behind the tusker in full ceremonial dress. Behind the Maligawa procession come the 4 Deval columns. Each carries the insignia of its deity beneath a dome canopy. The order never changes. The Buddha leads. The guardian deities follow. Drums drive the entire movement. Hevesi players keep a powerful rhythm that can be felt in the chest. Different troops of dancers rotate through the ranks. The spectacle is not random. Every position, every costume, every animal follows a precise ranking that is held for centuries. The festival closes with another old rite, Diya Kepeema. In the early hours after the final night, the water-cutting ceremony takes place at the Maha River. Officials perform the symbolic act that ends the season. Rain is still sought. Prosperity is still requested. Protection is still asked of both the Buddha and the deities. After the British captured Kandy in 1815, the monarchy ended. Custody of the relic passed to the Buddhist clergy. A lay officer, the Diya Kepeema, took charge of daily administration. The Perehera continued. It no longer served the living king, yet it still carried the memory of royal legitimacy. The same streets that once displayed a monarch's power now displayed an unbroken cultural claim. Today the festival draws crowds from across Sri Lanka and the world. It remains the clearest public expression of Theravada Buddhist devotion on the island. It also remains a statement of cultural identity. The elephants still walk in ranked order. The whipcrackers still clear the path. The golden casket still rides under the lights. The four deities still follow behind. What began as a plea for rain became a declaration of who held the right to rule. That declaration still moves through Kandy every year. The casket still rides under the lights of Kandy. If you are interested on making this type of contents, see how I made this video here.